200, baby. Let's go. Oh!
You were super hyped. Yeah, Luke was over there like, they didn't show me enough campaign footage, and I'm not interested in multiplayer.
The more I think about it, I think I actually really agree with you, Brett.
What is it?
On what I hope you're about to
No,
say.
you tell me.
IP is king.
Yeah. Oh.
IP is king.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. All the grenades. You got heat wave and camo probably.
No, I think I camo. I use camo. I use it.
Tyler, that's strong.
What?
It's good. I hadn't taken a test. I hadn't taken a test sip yet. Trailer roundup. And Luke's gonna play with more cars.
Vroom vroom. The shot of the like creepy old lady during the elevator bit got me very excited.
Dude, Mitchell's vs. the Machines is awesome, and I'm like, what even is this movie? How have I not heard about this?
I also want to give a shout out this week to my wife. Who got me this awesome A24 book.
Make it rated R and release it on Hulu.
The next announcement.
Do it, you cowards. Does Luke want to burn the books? That's the real question.
I'm not anti-book, but it's really hard for me to read books.
Dude, part
You
one.
can't ask me to change my expectations moments before the movie begins.
We do it for every movie. We say,
yeah.
what if it sucks?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Bless you. How come we don't say bless you when people fart?
An excellent question.
Like, it's a sneeze, pretty much. I mean, it's more like a burp, but...
Do you say bless you when someone burps?
No, I usually just give them a crisp, clean high five.
I usually give them a number, like to score it.
Ooh, that's good. But, like, what's the equivalent if you have a burp, if you have a sneeze and a burp, and you have a what and a fart? Like, what's the equivalent?
No one wants
These
to
are the
know.
questions
No one wants to know
I'm
that.
up till 3 a.m. thinking about in my bed at night.
I was gonna say, this is Luke's pondering.
You guys, the things I ponder, you have no idea.
Oh, what is up, fanboys and fangirls? Welcome back to another episode of the What the Fanboy Show. Today we'll be talking about Twisters. We'll be talking about the Acolyte. We've got new trailers, stories. We're gonna give a mid-year update on our favorite movies and things. So yeah, we'll just jump right in and get started.
That's
why you guys were messing with those.
Oh,
good to
know.
know.
He just said that right now.
Yeah. That's totally off the cuff because we were talking about it. I was like, oh,
it's a great topic.
Great time for it. Great time for it. So Tyler, you might want to think about your list.
Obviously, we're gonna need your top 10 in about 3 minutes. So.
Because we're gonna get through reviewing Twisters and the Acolyte in 3 minutes.
We could,
but we
won't.
No.
No, what? I take it back. No, we could.
I could.
I got too many things to say.
Luke, I know you got things to say, but you also are the keeper of the list of new trailers. So will you start us off with what new trailers came out this week?
I didn't watch this one, but if you want to go watch it, go for it. There was another Beetlejuice 2 commercial.
Beetlejuice.
What am I saying? I'm still thinking about sneezes and farts.
Trailer.
There's a new Beetlejuice 2 trailer.
Yes.
I didn't watch that one either.
I'm gonna see it.
If it's the one that was there was one that was in front of, like, Despicable Me.
Was there one in front of Twisters?
I don't think there was.
I was
one
pretty
in front
late,
of
so
Twisters. There may have been. I don't know.
You went late at night too.
I did. It was an incredible decision.
If it was the one that played in front of Despicable Me 4.
I just need to say real quick. I went to
it didn't change my mind.
I went to a 10:15 showing last night, and I haven't been to a movie that late in forever.
Mm-hmm.
I saw one trailer, and I was maybe like 5-10 minutes late.
They play less
trailers at night. Like,
all right, this may entice me to go to late showings.
I'm willing to start a hypothesis and an experiment going forward. Because like the movie showtime was 10:15.
Yeah.
And the movie was going at 10:25.
That's crazy. 10 minutes is all?
I think they were going before. Wow. I think they were just like, hey, just start
Let's
them
just
up.
get it going.
Yeah, because like you get to a movie on time now, and you're not watching your movie still for 30 minutes.
Can we actually list the start time, not
Yes, that'd be great.
not the ad start time?
The trailer
I
package
say
is
no.
consistent.
I say no. Because people still show up late.
That's true.
And once the movie started, I get tired of people trying to find their seats. So don't say when the movie starts. Just play less trailers. Start them earlier.
Start them
I
5 minutes before.
don't even
the
mind
movie.
the trailers. Stop playing all the ads in between the trailers.
But that's,
Just play random movie trailers that are coming out soon.
There's
Like
a
TV
whole
spot versions,
business
so
to
they're
it
family
that
friendly.
clearly works so well since half of the theater chains have
yeah.
bankrupt and whatnot. So,
Anyway, there's another Beetlejuice 2 commercial.
Cool.
Commercial.
trailer.
Just going with it now.
What's next?
Probably the most anticipated trailer of the century.
Oh.
Even though this movie has already came out. We got a trailer for Rebel Moon, the director's cut, Chapter 1,
No.
a cup of a chalice
No,
of
just
blood,
chalice. Just chalice. Not a chalice, just chalice. Chalice of blood.
/ Chapter 2, The Scargiver. I don't remember
I don't
what
remember
they call
I
it.
don't remember the chapter 2
All the titles are bad. But this is...
Both of these movies are bad.
This is heralded as Zack Snyder's true vision for the Rebel Moon franchise
Property.
I have no doubt that
even though
this
it's totally
will-
fabricated.
This will feel like more of a like especially part 1. I remember when we reviewed part 1, it's bad for many reasons, but one of the reasons felt like it was just act 1 of a movie. Not even act 1 and part of act 2. It just felt like act 1, and just by stuffing more things in it, I think it will feel fuller, not better. Just there's like it feels more than just the first part of a movie. That said, I do think there's some cool shots in this trailer. I don't think it really compels me to watch it though.
I could not be less interested in something than I am in this whatever this is. I didn't even watch the second one. I'm not
Oh
gonna
yeah,
watch
you
it.
never watched
Nope, don't care
Scargiver,
to.
did you?
Don't care to. I like.
Are we gonna end up watching this, Brett?
Absolutely.
Can we just watch this one together so I don't go crazy?
I think so. I think that would be
I
fun.
fell asleep during the first one. I don't even need to watch the second one, do I? I could just watch this one.
You should just watch Seven Samurai.
Well, yeah, that's a way better option.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or even what's the Western one? Magnificent Seven.
Magnificent Seven.
Watch the original Magnificent Seven. Also fantastic.
Yep.
I know you've seen the
Yeah, I've seen the new
Denzel
one.
one, so.
Yeah.
But no, like this.
Thumbs down. This sucked.
I
I'll say
just
it.
the fabricated. I feel like we're in a lot of this was staged talk because of world events and also moon landing anniversary. The Snyder Cut for Justice League was like a passion project for his fans and him. Like it took a lot of work to get that thing out.
He did not get to
Finish
the original Justice League, so it made sense, I think, for him to come back. It's still a way too expensive of a process.
Yeah,
but
like it's crazy that happened.
Yeah,
and Netflix and Snyder, it just feels like they're trying to replicate that, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
It feels like Barbenheimer. It's like this is a great cinematic moment in history for fans, movie fans, and the people that worked on those movies. And now, like, every once in a while, we have, like, oh, it's Shrek and Saw or whatever came out last year. It's like, we can do it again. It's not gonna work. It's never gonna work like that again. And so it just to just describe it as this is Zack Snyder's true vision. It's like, why not just do that the first time? It's been said to death multiple times. We've said it to death multiple times. I don't understand what they were thinking.
I don't get it. Like, why? I kind of made this joke, but like Netflix is willingly throwing themselves under the bus to say that this is his true vision. Basically saying, well, we had notes for his other vision, so we needed to do that one so he could do this one. Like, I don't know.
I think they're just
leaning into it.
But it's the controversy is not actually big enough to affect them.
Right.
The movie wasn't good enough.
Well, yeah, no, I think you're right. I think that at best it's a chance to get it up on a screen, on someone's screen is like, this is new, and it's branded different, and it has a new title, and someone who may have passed over A Child of Fire may be like, oh, Chalice of Blood, that sounds like, right? There's a marketing
right up a
reason
13-year-old
for doing it. I just don't know if it's a really justifiable from like a return on investment perspective.
Yeah, and I don't, just to clarify, I don't think there's controversy. I think it's just them being stupid.
It's fine.
I don't know.
I don't disagree.
We can turn it into a controversy.
I'd rather not. I feel like I've given this movie more energy than I care to, honestly.
Well,
I'm just like,
I may be sideways thumb on this trailer. It didn't really move the needle for me, but I do think there's potentially something that could come out of it.
Yeah.
Both these guys are thumbs down. Totally
There's naked people in it. And slit throats, so if that's your thing.
You know what drives me crazy ever since I've seen a Zack Snyder movie though? And I've talked about this with you. I don't know if I've ever shared it on here. I cannot stand his CGI blood.
Oh yeah.
I cannot stand it. Ever since I saw 300, it's like, are we trying to make it look bad?
Well, and it's weird in this now, seeing, the first two the versions, the PG-13 versions of Rebel Moon, where it's like, oh, there's gonna be so much blood there. Like, you can just tell that it's like, okay,
when they walk in a room covered in blood and there was no blood in the scene at all.
But there's like actions where it's like, even in a PG-13 movie, you would expect a little bit more of something there, and it's just like, well, and then we'll see. We see it in the trailer a little bit, but
I just want to watch Brett get plastered watching this movie.
No.
I would join for that.
Oh.
I'll drive you home.
That's
the
fine
things I do for love.
We also watched another trailer just a second ago, A Different Man.
Yeah.
Sebastian Stan had a weird face. And then he didn't.
And then he didn't, but then he did again, kind of.
Whoa.
I'll thumbs up this. I think this looks kind of interesting.
I will too.
It's
A24. They have a pretty good track record, right?
Yeah.
True. Very true.
It just looks different. I don't know. Doesn't look like anything else that's being made right now. Which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Not saying it hasn't been done. I'm more so just the slew of movies coming out right now. This is very much in its own lane.
Yeah. There was another trailer. I didn't watch it, but I feel like I know everything about it.
I also did not watch this trailer, if it's what I think it is.
Deadpool,
yeah, I didn't watch
Wolverine.
this. Yeah.
Just spoiling everything in their movie.
Of course they are.
Yeah, that was disappointing to see. I mean, it was spoiled for me before I watched the trailer because
I haven't even watched the trailer.
That's how the internet is. But this trailer was another sideways thumb for me. It didn't do anything. It doesn't feel like it's.
You know what I'm excited for with this movie?
For it to be over.
And I feel like this has probably been said, and somebody's gonna be like, "Yeah, obviously, dude." But I feel like with Hugh Jackman being in it, there's gonna be so much more depth to a character in a Deadpool movie. Where like it's kind of been there.
Yeah.
In the first two, like there's moments, but those movies are mainly fun, funny, raunchy.
Yeah.
But like him being there, and now obviously, should I say it? It's in the trailer.
Does Tyler know?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Since Daphne Keane is confirmed to be back,
Right.
I feel like that's gonna add a little more weight to his character and I think that's really good. I'm not expecting that from the Ryan Reynolds side,
Right.
but
I hope that
if the Hugh Jackman side can bring it, then
I hope they're able to lean
I'm more
into that
excited.
though, and not because you talk about how in Deadpool 1 and 2 there are those moments. It's always 100% of the time undercut by a joke. Like it can't just let itself be serious for a minute, for more than a minute, I guess. Like and then it's got to do the funny thing. And what I would hate is for Hugh Jackman to be able to bring some of that in, but it just constantly being undercut.
You might be prepared to hate.
Oh no, I am. I'm 100%. I was talking with Alex. I was talking with Alex about what I'm anticipating, and I'm going to go in with open mind. I'm anticipating giving this movie like a 2 stars. I mean, like I had a fun time, but it's a 2-star movie.
Did he tell you he's seeing it with me?
No. We don't have tickets yet. I'm actually not sure when I'm going to get to see it. I have plans that weekend.
I didn't honestly even know tickets were on sale.
Well, it's coming out next week, so.
Oh, okay.
Or like this week.
I didn't-
4 days.
I don't know movie dates anymore.
Yeah.
Mainly with the ones that I'm not as enthusiastic about, but
That's fair.
it's
So,
Olympic time.
It
That's
is.
where my brain is going.
Yeah,
Fair
opening
enough,
ceremony's
fair enough.
Friday. Yeah.
Let's
go.
Was there any other trailers? Those are all that I had.
I don't have any more.
I don't think so.
All right.
All right. Well, then we can move on over to our review of Twisters.
Storm's here tonight.
They're nearby.
It's perfect.
It's not raining here, but it was also on the night that Steph and I went. They're like
How was it?
big storm clouds all around.
really?
So, yeah. Saturday? Was that Saturday night?
I don't remember storms.
I think it was Saturday afternoon. There weren't any super near us.
just big clouds.
They were just big clouds,
Oh,
and it was
okay.
like, this is fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You don't have the Daisy Edgar Jones superpower to look at a cloud and be like, I know it's.
I do not have that super ability.
Bro, that stop sign was wiggling. We need to go this way.
Over in the chat, Baroque says, "I am so excited to see this in 4D. Take ibuprofen before you go, and maybe a neck brace just in case.
I need Wichita to add a 4DX.
I'd like to experience it at some point, and this would be a fun movie.
Exploration Place used to have those chairs. I don't know if they still do, but
Yeah.
they didn't play movies. They just had their little
Right.
rides.
Yeah.
But what did you think?
I love this movie. This movie is so much fun. Look, it's not like anything great or amazing, but I think there's a ton of chemistry there. We recently just watched the original Twister. It does the thing, which is we're going to hit all of the same kind of story beats. It's formatted very much the same as Twister. I think it does everything Twisters does everything Twister did, but better.
I think it
in a
did
more modern sense, and it just feels good.
I think it did everything Twister did exactly the same.
That's fair. That's fair.
I too thought it was a lot of fun. I don't think I'm as high on it as you.
Me. Yeah.
I do not think there was a lot of chemistry there. I think the girl is not good.
Daisy Edgar Jones.
I don't think she's good.
What is she from?
She was the girl that was killed in the Mormon show with Andrew Garfield.
Oh, that was a good show.
That was a great show. But like there's like in the normal moments she's okay, but she doesn't really need to be doing anything much there. In the moments where she needs to be scared, I think she's great.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the moments where like she's supposed to be sad. I'm like, what is this? Like,
I do think there's an anchor, because I do think there's a hierarchy of who is best with chemistry. Like, I think Glenn Powell holds the chemistry bucket.
Yeah,
Like, everyone's
Glenn Powell's
just,
good.
He's just dipping, like everyone's dipping in and like pulling. Like when anyone is acting with Glenn Powell, I'm very happy. I do think you're right, especially when Daisy Edgar Jones and who's her friend?
Anthony Ramos.
Anthony Ramos. I don't think they have great, like,
They were pretty.
their relationship is pretty tense already, and
Yeah.
I just never really bought into it. But I enjoy, especially when the three of them get together. And again, I think it's because Glenn Powell's there, and he is literally just there to be a little thorn in everyone's side.
I'm gonna be honest.
I have a
I
lot of
wanted
fun
a
with
Glenn
that.
Powell, Anthony Ramos, buddy cop tornado wrangling movie.
Heck yeah.
Like, I would have loved if it was just like Anthony Ramos was the YouTube guy,
Mm-hmm.
and it was them going off and doing this thing.
Yeah.
Something goes wrong, blah 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 blah. But like he's part of the profiteering group, even though he might not realize it at first.
It's the tech bro group.
Yeah.
Tech bro.
Which was in
The Carrie
which
Elways.
was, yeah, he is that character.
The thing I do like, I'd say more in this one, is that we get to spend time with that group.
Yeah.
Like, in the original, it's like, Carrie Elways is clearly a bad guy for some reason.
They are just the antagonists.
And
No explanation.
David Cornsweet is that in this movie.
He's
Love it.
so good. He's good at being like.
I think he's going to be a great Superman,
He's
because
got-
he's
he's
not
got-
good at being a
He's got
douche.
3 little lines, and I think he's fine. I thought he was good.
I don't know. He was like,
I
we
didn't
don't
even-
care about the people. And I was like, okay, buddy.
I didn't even know he was in this movie until I think last week he was posting like promotional stuff, and I was like, wait,
He has
what?
like 6 lines.
Yeah, he's very minor role.
It's funny.
Yeah, I really just thought the acting was kind of all over the place. Thankfully, that's not why you see this movie.
True.
So, like, it kind of goes into the back burner. The 3 things that I probably thought were the most important, I think they really nailed, which was the tornadoes. So, like,
Yeah.
the cinematography, I think, is great.
Yep.
I think the CGI is really good.
Mm-hmm.
There was never a moment where I was like, what's going on there?
Yeah.
What a bizarre directing portfolio for this guy.
Yeah, he directed Minari.
Yep.
Yeah.
Minari,
film.
The Mandalorian, and Twisters, and then he's got a bunch of like smaller stuff.
Yeah.
But what a bizarre shift from Minari. To
I think
this.
he's got a skeleton. I think he's got a skeleton crew episode too
Yeah.
Nice.
coming up.
He's everywhere.
And the other thing I think they nailed, and these 3 things just kind of go together, is the spectacle of it
Mm-hmm.
was great. The tornadoes felt huge. They felt dangerous.
Yeah.
It kind of also leads into a con I have. A nitpick. But yeah, like they're just, when the town is being destroyed by a tornado, you're like, pretty powerful tornado. And the truck hits a wall and you're like, it's a pretty powerful tornado.
Yeah, they do a really good job of making tornadoes feel scary.
Yeah.
They look scary. They feel scary. I think the actors,
They sound scary.
They sound scary. The they do a I think, and this leads into the fun of it. I think they do a good job of getting your blood flowing during the chases. I think the music choices are great. They get you like, oh, because I'm not like a country music guy. I don't like country music, but like every time a country music song came on in this, I was like, all right, let's go, baby.
Tornado.
And that leads into typically, you know, they're hunting down a tornado, and then, you know, shit hits the fan, because of course it does.
Yeah.
It's a tornado, and it's a movie about tornadoes,
I
so
was
of
saying,
course.
you gotta have a movie.
Yeah.
Because we don't fully understand tornadoes, so. Or do we?
I also appreciated, I felt like they did a good job of talking about tornadoes and weather and not dumb it. Like,
I'm going to disagree with you on this.
it was... I liked that they said things that I didn't completely understand, but I could understand conceptually. Like, it felt like they were talking in weather lingo, and I just didn't get it because I'm not that smart. But they didn't necessarily be like, oh, well, it's when the... They do this occasionally, especially when they're talking about the updraft and the moisture and things. But at some points, it did feel like, oh, these are just people talking in their kind of native language of weather speak.
See, I disagree.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of times they're using big words to sound smart.
To sound smart. Oh, that's fine.
Whereas in like they're talking about a tornado and updrafts and moisture and big long words. It's probably Latin. And it's like, can I get a wind speed?
Mm.
How fast are we blowing here?
Yeah.
Because I can understand that.
Yeah.
And they're talking about like, the F scale, Fujita scale it's not about wind speed or how big a tornado is. It's about damage. And it's like, I think those are relative, buddy. Like, I don't want to put on a meteorology hat because I don't know close to anything about it. I know rain gets you wet.
And if you're wet and it's windy, it gets cold.
But like,
true.
220 mile per hour tornado a mile wide. EF5. I'm assuming it also does a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like. That's kind of what they were like. They were using. Just, I got annoyed that they weren't like it's blowing 130 miles an hour.
Sure.
Like, this is bad.
And you would think you would think that there's an outlet for that, especially with like having a YouTube channel be there, like that they may have that opportunity to kind of work that into the script.
Yeah.
And
It's
present
like,
it
are
in
your
a
Twitch
way-
followers following this, buddy, or your YouTube followers following all this? Or they're just like, yeah, go shoot off the fireworks again.
Do they do the weird thing with it being like a YouTube thing? Do they put it in the like a YouTube
Yes.
website browser on the screen?
Oh no, but you do
Kind of do.
you see it via like the handheld iPhone camera and like the drone camera. So like
Gotcha.
there's a quality difference there,
Gotcha.
right? Like this feels like it was shot on an iPhone and it's shaky like it would be, which I thought was an interesting editing choice, but
Yeah.
I get it.
The other thing that just kind of annoyed me was consistency of car physics. And this goes into, I need somebody to be like, this tornado is really bad. It's blowing about 140. Maybe it's only 80. I don't know. It's like, it's building. It's only 80 miles per hour over there right now. Oh, it's crazy. Like, oh, but it's getting faster.
Yeah.
But and then like there's moments throughout where cars are just flung across the state. Oh, but when our heroes are in it,
Oh, and yeah.
it just topples over.
I'm gonna chalk that up to just filmmaking. Filmmaking does that all the
Movies.
time. I was able to forget. I also, again, just watched the original Twisters, where that is very much, or Twister, where that is very much still the case.
Yeah.
And it doesn't
And-
look good, and like this one still I thought it felt better.
It annoys me in the first one too.
Yeah,
like when
yeah.
Carrie Elway's car just gets picked up. Like
Whee!
I don't think a car gotten picked up the entire movie, and then I was just like, yeah, we're going. And then it explodes too.
And then they drop like 3 cars in front of their truck as they're.
Their cars were
And
just,
then a house blows over, and it's like, I don't know what's going on
and I'm not saying like a car's not going to get picked up. Obviously, it's a terrible weather tragedy going on, but like sometimes they're just whipping around and getting launched, and then they're like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, if they're driving it, then it'll get launched because there's obviously people in it. But I needed like, I'm gonna give notes. This is what I would have done. Obviously, you have your opening tornado. It's horrific. Personally, I thought it was the best tornado in the movie. Also, thank you for the overpass scene.
Yeah, right. We were hating on
Thank
that.
you!
It actually worked incredibly well. And
Don't go to the overpass. There's nothing worse than that. Immediately goes to the overpass. Oh my gosh. They deserved it. No, like giant tornado for a horrific opening.
Yep.
And then kind of like build it up.
They
I
do.
felt
They
like
do a nice
every
job of-
tornado was horrible.
Oh.
And this goes into wind speed. Like,
Well, the first
they're
one
like-
after that is the twins, right?
um,
That's very early
twins!
on. Is twins. You get the dual cyclones. Well, there's
I think it's
3.
the second one.
because they're
Because there's the
chasing-
one they shoot fireworks up.
split. Yeah.
And then there's
yeah.
the twins, and they go opposite directions.
Yeah.
Because she's obviously smarter.
They gotta prove that.
She's like, bro, that cloud is sus.
Man, I can't wait to go watch this.
Because like
I love
after
these
the,
kind
I think you have fun. I think
I
you
like
have
these
fun.
kind of movies.
oh, it is. I feel like I'm ragging on it. It's a blast. It is super fun. I just feel like after the twin tornado, every tornado was the same.
Gotcha. I do think they
Just like one has fire in it. So.
well, they do. I do think they do a good job of expanding on the destruction after every tornado. But you're right in that it doesn't. The tornadoes don't really feel unique in and of themselves.
Yeah, it's like here's a big tornado. The city was completely wiped out. Here's another tornado. The city was completely wiped out. Here's our last tornado. Yes, the city was completely wiped out.
I think my only nitpick, and this is again, I'll say that this is a kind of a carryover thing and probably a Hollywood thing, just in terms of how to present this. But like when the tornadoes dissipate, it just seems like the whole storm dissipates as well, and it's like that's not how storms work. Like it's not all of a sudden going to be clear skies.
Yeah.
3
wow,
minutes,
it's sunny.
2 minutes after a tornado, like
It's still raining.
it's still like yeah, but from like you have to move things along. I guess I can forgive it. But that would be my biggest nitpick.
And even
is
like
it just kind of felt like the danger was over super suddenly.
and even like tornadoes can jump on you really quick.
Yeah.
And they get that right, but there's still like presiding signs.
Yeah.
Like there's always a tornado watch.
The
first.
one
And I feel like we never got there was the one scene at the beginning in New York where she's like, "No, it's nothing."
Yeah.
Like don't put that into a watch yet.
Right.
And we never heard those words again.
The only one that really bothered me was the rodeo.
Yeah.
Was just because it was so sudden, and
It's
That one's
like
in the trailer too, isn't it?
yeah,
yeah, and there's no wind, and this is kind of funny. I actually googled this because I was curious. There's no wind, and then all of a sudden there's wind, and the leaves start coming in. She's like, "What's going on? Oh, there might be a tornado," and there is. I googled it, and I'm not gonna say this is pure fact because it's just like the front of Google.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like most of the time there'll be a dead spot of wind, like the wind will just stop before the tornado actually starts.
I mean, we talk
I
about
had
how
always heard about that.
yeah. It's pretty like this. You get things to look for: sky getting green, and no wind is actually like that's when you should be worried.
Yeah.
At least that's what I grew up. No, that could be completely inaccurate, but
Yeah. Which is a shame when it's nighttime.
right.
And that's honestly is my favorite scene in the original is when they're all at the movie theater and they're just kind of like it's too quiet. And yeah, that was a great scene.
It
when
was
they're
a good
just
scene.
fighting for their life when the tornado
Absolutely.
actually hits.
Also,
That lady in the hotel is totally me. Like almost. She's like 9 out of 10 times it's nothing.
It's nothing.
Like I'm not saying that when the sirens and warnings are going
You're
off.
not
I'm
getting
like,
in your car.
I just don't think I'm gonna get hit.
Right.
Because it's gonna go away.
You have plot armor.
I'm not saying it's not a dangerous. Yeah, I have plot armor. No. It's because I'm the comic relief.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
yes,
know,
no.
I think why both of us. I mean, maybe I shouldn't speak for you. Why I think I like
You
that
can
scene
speak for
so
me.
much is because it's not a chase scene. They're
Yeah.
not chasing the tornado. They are just in the path, and they're
And they're
not
scared.
in their vehicles, and there's nothing they can do. It's caught them, and they're presented in a way in which they haven't been yet because they've always been so confident out amongst the tornadoes driving. Now it's like, oh crap, what do we do?
Now we're dodging the flying cars.
Yeah.
And we're trying to convince people to just
Unironically,
listen to
or
us.
maybe ironically, I don't know. His vehicle may have been the safest one there if they could have gotten those jacks down.
Yeah, for real. Clearly, because reasons. But
Reasons.
yeah, I liked it when the dude just became a little parachute, flew off. It's like, brother, just lay down. Just lay down. Just lay down. That's all you had to do. Glenn Powell was right there. He was saying, "Hey, brother, lay down." It's like, no, I'm gonna stand up and go like this. I'm gonna be a big old parachute.
there's anything from Twisters that I've learned, it's if there's a natural
Don't live in
disaster
Oklahoma.
around you,
Oh.
listen to the most attractive people.
Yes.
Because they're the main characters, and
Tyler's
they know
not
what they're
there, though.
talking about.
I'm going to be listening to the most attractive person as well.
So,
I'm waiting for Twisters 3. I'd like to go to another state.
Kansas has to get film incentives first.
I don't need Kansas. I wouldn't even mind if it's like a state where it's maybe the tornadoes aren't as common, but we're seeing tornadoes.
Georgia
Sure.
got leveled
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they're not used to tornadoes.
I feel like
Because
you
even
could-
in
I
the
feel
movie,
like
they're
you
like,
could
"There's
do
a crazy
something
tornado
in
outbreak."
in the southeast, that would be really fun and interesting. They have a very different
you just see an
topography
alligator
and-
flying across the screen. You're like, hey,
Yeah, they've different
Florida man news
home
line,
situations.
Yeah, exactly. I think that could be really interesting.
I thought it was interesting though. They're like, every time they try and find a basement, there never is one. It's like, brothers, we're in Oklahoma. Come on, Oklahoma, do better. Oh,
They can't do basements because of the red clay or whatever.
That red dirt.
Yeah,
I mean, my grandparents had a basement, so it's possible.
yeah. It's just
Um,
bad for your foundation, I suppose. Because Dana had to explain this to me like I was 5, because we were driving around there when we went and did the Moore
Oh,
disaster relief thing, and I was like, why don't these people have basements? Like, I feel bad that their houses are destroyed, but why did none of them have basements? She's like, because they can't. I was like, what are you talking about? She was like, a lot of companies won't clear them because of the dirt.
because of just the
The
composition
red
of
clay or whatever. It just
composition of
doesn't.
the clay.
It just squeezes
well,
your
David
house.
Cornsweat's pop definitely ain't clearing a basement.
So, I guess that's accurate, I suppose.
Yeah.
Come on, Oklahoma,
I
dig a
will-
hole
for Twisters 3. I saw a tweet. I have
until they build a bigger tornado.
Well, no, they've got to get a tornado to be on their team.
Yes.
If they're working on taming tornadoes in this one, we've got to figure out how to get one on our side.
You got to spin it the other way.
You gotta have a tornado fight another tornado. Control the cloud movements.
Instead of erasing tornadoes, we're gonna figure out how to make it spin the other way and fight for truth, justice, and the American way.
Just have it be amazing.
And they're gonna
It's
team
just
up
red
with
tornado.
Godzilla and King Kong.
Yeah.
It's just red tornado.
Oh, well, okay.
It's very fun.
I liked it a lot. I had a blast.
Don't listen to just my nitpicks.
I
slash
can't,
Oh,
wait.
yeah.
I can't wait to watch it.
There you watch like the tornado attacks and you're just like, this is super awesome, and lots of people die in the movie, and it's pretty intense.
Very intense, indeed.
Looking forward to it.
Like 500% more people die in this one than the first.
So
Twister.
many, so many more, so many more.
Oh, and spoilers. Can I spoil something that ultimately doesn't really matter?
Sure.
Helen Hunt wasn't in the movie.
Yeah.
Dumpster fire. No. I feel like Helen Hunt was definitely supposed to be the mom, and Helen Hunt was not paid, so she said no.
They could not write the check that big.
Come on, you should have done it.
Did you see she was in the news this week saying that she was trying to get a sequel made back in like 2021 or something, and they wouldn't give her a meeting?
No, but that doesn't surprise me.
She was like, I was gonna write it and all this stuff, and it's like, why are you saying that now, man? Like, movies
because
been
it's being successful.
it's so dumb.
Get her in the third one.
So Luke gives it a dumpster fire.
Yeah,
Just kidding. What do you really give it?
a fanboy worthy.
Okay, yeah. I give it a fanboy worthy too. I think it's a lot of fun, and maybe not for all ages, but it is pretty intense. I wouldn't take your littles to this, but
Or if they're like not serious about tornadoes, take them to it and be like, "This is gonna be you if you don't listen."
this is gonna be yeah.
When I say go to the basement, you go to the basement.
Go to the basement immediately. But
In
Cool,
my
cool.
letterbox, I did have to complain that nobody has yet said the word tornado
tornado
in any of these movies,
Mm,
which I'm not a fan of because I feel like I say it all the time, and I hear it all the time, and it does not feel genuine that nobody's saying, "We're gonna go wrangle a tornado." There's been zero Paul Bunyan references. Like, come on.
Baroque has a few things in the chat. One says there's a theory among NASCAR fans about the cars driving in and out creates a vortex that keeps storms away and evaporates the rain droplets before they hit the ground. Sounds like it could be made to work for Twisters 3.
Twisters. Got to replace the E with the 3.
The E,
definitely.
yeah.
And then he also asks, so how's college football treating you, Tyler? I'll talk about that later.
But how many hours are you into that now? 100?
Too many. Not 100. I was out of town all weekend.
I would have said 200 if I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know. I was out of town all weekend. I played last night. I got home. I got on about 9. I played till like 1:30. And then I was off today. So I played literally all day. I had to like take a break at 1 to eat lunch and shower because I just could not stop playing.
Oh my gosh, Tyler.
And then I got right back on and played till like 5.
What team did you pick?
Well,
or where did you get recruited?
So I'm doing dynasty mode. So I started as an offensive coordinator, and I went to North Texas. Had a rough first year, I think, but we had a winning record. Second year, I won offensive coordinator of the year.
Let's go, baby.
We made it to the college football playoff. We were undefeated to that point and got absolutely mollywopped because we're North Texas and Miami, and all those schools are way better than us. So then, and I was playing on the hardest difficulty, which everybody says is impossible, which I highly disagree.
Heisman?
Yeah. So then I took a head coaching job at K-State.
I know that school.
And I dropped it down to All-American because I had never played defense. And now I think I need to put it back on Heisman because I think it's a little too easy. But I've heard defense is the problem on Heisman. Because, like, offensively, I can score, like, 70 points a game, but, like, stopping people is going to be the problem. And apparently on Heisman, defense is borderline impossible. So they need to set it to where you could set offensive difficulty, defensive difficulty.
Defense wins championships.
It does. And right now I'm 5-0 with K-State. Ranked second in the country. So it's going well. I'm having a blast. It's not perfect, but it's doing what I need it to.
You should recreate the Wichita State Shockers.
Too many people have already done it.
Oh.
Boo. Or yay, I don't know.
I mean, I don't need to do it because I can just download the file.
You can. Are they making Ted Lasso their coach?
Some people. I mean, you can create Ted. Where is this? Oh, I
That's
have a
funny.
picture of one.
Well, cool. Thank you for that little update on college football, Tyler. College football 25, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one.
The other thing that Luke and I did this last week was finish The Acolyte.
Oh boy.
Season
I
1.
like that one more.
Those look good.
The internet
I
has
like the
been a
gray.
buzz with opinions.
And they're all wrong. They're all wrong. The positive ones, the negative ones, they're just all wrong. Nobody's right anymore.
This is just where we're at with Star Wars, is that it's either the best or the worst. And I think Luke and I will both find it to be somewhere in the middle, although
it's pretty
low for Luke.
Pretty low for me.
I was pretty happy with where it ended up. I don't think that it had the smoothest of sailings getting there. For an 8-episode show, I think it really feels like it could have been 5. And told a more linear and interesting story. But I do like a lot of the ideas that they're playing with and talking about. It just seems that I think it was maybe a little too interested in having it feel like this grand mystery. Like, we always got to be
the mystery
revealing
is
a little
one of the worst
a new
parts,
thing,
I think,
here and there. You know, it seems like every other episode there's a little new revelation that is meant to be bigger than it needs to be.
And it's more like,
it's like, oh, okay.
Okay.
So the format of the show, I think, is based around those kind of reveals, and I think it hurts the pacing specifically. Yeah. But I think it leads to some uninteresting episodes as well.
Yeah.
So.
And I think it also hurts it that one of its more interesting episodes, which is a flashback, you watch that episode again from a different perspective, and it kind of just ruins the first one.
I still think it doesn't. I think it doesn't add anything.
It made the interesting parts
Less interesting.
stupid. Like, and here's this is probably the only, and I won't even consider this lore. As far as Star Wars lore goes, I don't really care what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Just do something cool. And if that ends up like changing something that we thought was different, cool.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Sure.
I don't care that the Force switches. Is that what we call it?
I guess. Force witches.
The witches. I don't care that they made a Force baby. I don't care. I think it's cool. I don't think Plagueis needs to discover everything on his own.
Right.
I think it's kind of Sithy that he would steal it from somebody else, in fact.
Yeah.
The only lore thing I think I'll really complain about, because it's no different, in my opinion, to anything we've gotten, is that the Jedi are just so dumb. And it's not in an interesting way. Like, it felt like in the prequels they're like, oh, we're just arrogant and blind, and it's like, well, I guess, or is it just bad writing?
Right, sure.
And it felt the exact same in this one, where it's just like, they're just, it's not compellingly puzzled together.
Mm-hmm.
They're just, the Jedi are always stupid. And when every single Jedi, at this point now it feels like, is a rebellious type, how Anakin was, I feel like no Jedi anymore is just like, you know, I'm a Jedi, I'm the good cop. Everyone is got this gray area, and I gotta lie to protect my Jedi family. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know, I'm kind of tired of it.
I think there's, and you know, Baroque in the chat mentions Jedi are so dumb. I feel the same way watching the Clone Wars. I do think that's a trope that even makes its way into the Clone Wars, but you have so much more time to live with that, and it's in the context of a war, right? Like, so I think that there is stuff, but to your point, I look at a character like Obi-Wan Kenobi, and he feels like a Jedi who is trying to do the best thing he can, is not dumb, maybe doesn't have all the answers. Like, we learn in Clone Wars he's maybe a little morally gray, but he never feels like he's doing a thing for the wrong reason.
Yeah. One of the best arcs, by the way. In that
And I think what could have been really compelling in this first season of this show, if it ever gets a second, we don't know, but would to have had the twins.
Twins! We got twins!
You know, both be... They're both presented with the light side and the light side of the Force and the dark side of the Force, right? They both get to interact with Jedi and Sith. And I wish I could have seen, especially the Jedi, actually be appealing in a way that the Sith were, to make those choices that they make more meaningful. I just never felt like there's any reason for them to, even as children, to want to join the Jedi.
Yeah.
Other than I'm scared of what the ceremony is, I think I'd rather go with these people. Like, that's a legitimate fear as a child.
You know what?
But you could expound on that.
That should have been a red flag to the Jedi. It's like, this kid is super afraid. Like, oh.
So, but like I said...
knowing another thing I'm really tired of, they're too old. They're too old. They're too old to be a Jedi. How many times is the kid going to be too old? Luke was 20? Isn't he like 20 in the original Star Wars?
Like 18 or something.
They've consistently gotten younger and they're always too old. Can we just... like, find a kid and be like, want to be a Jedi? Sure. Let's go, buddy.
That'll be Rey's new movie. Whatever that is.
Good. Good. Finally, they'll do something different. But another thing about the twins that listen, twins are terrible. But they just flip-flopped their decisions every episode.
Yeah.
And it, like, by the time we got to episode 7, it was so annoying. Like, what is it, episode 5? The big battle?
Yeah. Night.
Right before that, the bad twin is like, I'm gonna turn myself into Jedi because my sister's still alive. Immediately tries to kill the Jedi when they're going to arrest her, even though she's gonna turn herself in. Then she immediately tries to kill her sister. It's like in the span of 15 minutes. People make decisions in this. This is, I think, another terrible thing about the show as far as filmmaking. The pacing is so fast. People make decisions so fast. Like with OSHA.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're making some pretty rash decisions pretty quickly at the end here.
Absolutely.
And I get it. Emotion is not good in Jedi. So they keep telling me. But yeah, as far as the last episode goes, I thought it was just another bad episode. I think there was only one good action sequence in the entire show, which was the
big fight in 5.
Yeah, the big murder scene. The main Sith fight.
Yeah.
I think they did so many just goofy action stuff. Like when like Soul is like floating around and I don't know, it looked bad to me.
It looked like wire work with maybe actors who weren't as trained in wire work combat, right? Like, I don't know. I think there's an opportunity to talk about using the Force in unique ways in battle that can explain it, but I do think, it came off more as maybe inexperience on wires than like hey, we're gonna use the Force in cool new ways to move around and navigate. I didn't have as much of a problem with the final episode action pieces. And again, I think where they end up is interesting.
What did you think about the killing a Jedi with no hands stuff?
I mean, I don't know.
I thought it was so cheesy.
With no weapons, you mean?
Yeah. With no weapons.
Was that supposed to be like the first time that's happened?
That's what it feels like.
That's kind of what the vibe that I got, and
I laughed. I laughed.
I
laughed a lot during this
I didn't
episode.
Laugh, but
I got a lot bigger laugh at the very end. I'll tell you.
I wouldn't say that it was. Yeah. Oh, the very end.
The very end where they do an Avengers tease.
Yeah.
Was comical beyond belief. Like, and I should have just seen it coming. Might have even predicted it before the show started.
I think
I'm so tired of seeing prequel characters that aren't this one. It's the only one I care about now.
She's not even alive, bro.
Her story is done in the prequels, though.
That's true. I think, like, at the end of the day, I am always going to support Star Wars taking chances, which is why I'm glad that this exists. And I'll even go so far as to say I hope that there's a season 2, because I think a season 1 is going to help them get their sea legs as like a creative team. And I think that there's a much more interesting linear story that they can tell in season 2 that's not kind of bagged down by
the Jedi,
the weight of the whole, I don't know, again, the mystery and the twists that go into season 1. Like, I feel like now the lines are pretty clearly drawn on where everyone's at. And they could tell a really interesting, more, I mean, it will probably feel more traditional. It doesn't have to be more traditional, but I think it'll feel like a more traditional Star Wars story and have some really interesting things with characters who we've heard about kind of in legend and we know exist but haven't gotten to see yet. And there will, of course, be the, prequel, the Yodas of the world, right? Who just end up there because we have to tie things together. So,
do we have to though?
Corporations and executives think we have to tie things together.
Gotcha.
So, for me, this was a straight to streaming. I think it's right where it deserves to be in terms of like, this is put out on Disney Plus, and it's, I don't think it's
Doesn't cost extra to
I don't
watch
think
it.
it's a premium TV show by any stretch of the imagination, right? Like, it's not a Star Wars show. For example, Andor is a Star Wars show that I'm like, that could be on HBO. Not everyone agrees with me on that, but I think the quality of that show is like up there, and this one just does not have that.
Yeah.
But I think it could be enjoyable. Half of people who are Star Wars fans will enjoy it. Half of people who are Star Wars fans will hate it. My guess is if you're a really casual Star Wars fan, you probably won't care about it.
Yeah.
Because it does do some like deep cuts, and I don't know. It doesn't have those characters, But there could be some casual fans out there who are just like, oh, I'm kind of glad this doesn't really tie into anything else I don't have to follow.
Until it does.
Until it does, but for now it doesn't, right?
Yeah.
So, where do you put it?
As far as this, like, a second season goes, if they give this a second season, I think they need a new team.
Okay. And
I think they need a new writing team. Kind of just works. I think they need a new cinematographer. They need a new stunt coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
They need to start over. Obviously, the actors are cast.
Right.
So you need a new acting coach. Because I think the biggest weaknesses of the show are all behind the camera based for the most part, excluding acting. Which is obviously in camera.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was such a mess. I'm just waiting for them to do Revan's storyline from Knights of the Old Republic. And the Star Wars community, which doesn't like anything anymore, will not like that. And you know what? I probably won't like it either, because Revan is pretty iconic.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if you do it with Osha's character, you can't really do it with Revan. And people have wanted Revan to actually be brought into the main storyline. And I feel like if you do it now, and then you do it later, it's like, oh, we've done this already.
Yeah.
So, but they're even like the Stranger's mask, and I've thought of this during the finale. It's like he sounds like Malik from the game. He's got the jaw on his mask. Malik was missing his jaw, so I'm like expecting him to get his jaw cut off if they do a season 2.
Yeah,
it's like if they do that, it's like, oh no, here we go.
Here we go.
I'll amend my straight to streaming.
Okay.
To a find the super good fight scene on YouTube.
Okay.
Like, if you don't have Disney Plus, don't buy Disney Plus.
Sure.
To watch this, just watch what you can on YouTube. Get the highlights.
Somebody's probably put it on TikTok.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, probably.
Probably would be a subpar version, though.
I was talking to somebody and they were like, I watched a whole show on TikTok, and I was like, bro, what?
Why?
He's like, this dude was just posting it in snippets. It's like, just go watch the show.
That is so dumb. Oh. How is that not pirating?
Bro. Sure, it probably technically is, but
yeah, Acolyte, not good. There's my review. Short and sweet. TLDR, not good.
Cool. All right. Real quick, any news happening? We talked about Twisters. It had a really good weekend at the box office. 80 million plus.
Man, they were posting that at like Sunday morning.
Do they have
I hadn't even bought my ticket yet.
more final numbers?
Your numbers don't count for this.
Like, I don't understand box office. Is that like Thursday, Friday, Saturdays? What we're doing?
Well, Thursday's previews.
Opening weekend is right.
Like,
So
how
Friday, Saturday, really.
Friday,
is-
Saturday.
Are they psychic? How are they getting those numbers? How do they know I'm gonna buy a ticket? I bought my ticket at 10:10.
Well, that's why
I
they're saying,
bought it in the parking lot.
That's why they said it's it's anticipated or predicted numbers. 81 Thursday through Sunday.
Oh, that $1 or that 1 million.
81
I
million.
contributed to that.
Domestic, international, like worldwide, it's 124.
I'll tell you what,
Almost
though, the reason I
125.
saw it at 10:15 was because the theaters were pretty much sold out in the afternoon and the evening, so I just went to the latest showing possible.
You know Kansas and Oklahoma is going to show out for Twisters.
They're gonna represent for sure.
Well, speaking of Twisters, Glenn Powell confirmed on the press junket that they have a production date for the sequel to Top Gun Maverick.
Okay,
So that gets an update
that's
randomly.
news.
Since Tom Cruise's boy said that,
Mm-hmm.
which that's a weird thing to be watching happen in real time.
I don't know if I should be excited for that.
Halo got canceled.
What else can you do?
Oh yeah, Paramount's cleaning closet since they're trying to
Dude,
sell get sold. Get
Nobody was sad. Oh, dude, poor Paramount.
Everybody took a victory lap when they canceled it. They were like, "That's what you get for not trusting the people who play the games." I was like, "Oh boy, oh boy."
And then what's like 10 hours later, Prime Video or Amazon was like, we're way ahead of schedule on season 2,
Yeah.
and we got nominated for like 15 Emmys.
Yep. It's kind of hilarious.
Oh, that was a news story too. Emmy nominations came out.
Oh yeah,
Congratulations to the Baron Shogun, because you're gonna win every single one.
true.
That's just what it's how it is, folks. And they both deserve it.
The over in superhero news, the big rumor, not confirmed yet. Big rumor is that the Russo bros will be back to direct the next 2 Avengers movies.
Where did that bring you? Back to me.
I don't know
They're inevitable.
if this is this worse for Marvel or worse for the Russo brothers? Because what this reads to me is that neither of them could actually do
good without
each other or
Yeah.
something. You know, there's like, if the Russos were doing well enough that they wouldn't come back to do Avengers. If Marvel could actually get that shit together, they wouldn't have felt like they needed bring the Russos back.
I'm gonna say it's worse for Marvel because they're probably paying them buku money to get them to come back.
That's probably true.
It's probably $50 million of the budget. 25 each.
I don't know. I guess I'll use this moment to say that this does not really excite me. I feel like this is just them saying, "Yep, we're going to bring them back because we know that the legacy actors will want to act with them again or work with them again, and so we'll get Chris Evans back, we'll get Downey Jr. back, we'll get ScarJo back, we'll get all the original, get the band back together." And Marvel just refuses to move forward. Like everything, they just keep trying to capture the same lightning in the same bottle again.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you need to go find new lightning. Like, you got to go find a new thing. Like, I don't know.
Gotta ride the lightning.
And I think what's upsetting for me is, like, I loved Shang-Chi. I think that movie was awesome. And that director was going to do the Avengers movies. And then now he's not. And then they're bringing the Russos back. And it's like, okay. And, like, I know legacy characters will be a big part of Secret Wars and all that stuff. And that's fine. But if they're going to do both Avengers movies prior to Secret Wars, it's just going to be the same stuff we've already seen.
Yeah.
And then, on the heels of that, I guess they found a replacement for Kang, and they're announcing it next weekend, apparently. That's the rumor. Because SDCC's this weekend, I think.
I don't care about the Russos coming back because the writer is who I'm worried about.
Who's the writer?
He did Doctor Strange 2.
Oh, I think
Great.
I think there's also rumors that he may be out of writing Avengers 5.
Who's doing Avengers 6? Wasn't it the guy who did Avengers 6? What was it called? Secret Wars. Starring Anthony Mackie and Benedict Wong.
I think at this point it may be like a completely new team.
If the Russos come on
Oh,
board,
that's also Michael Aldrin. Okay.
If the Russos come on board, they're going to clean all that out and get new people.
It'll be like loosely probably structured on whatever has been written before, but they'll bring in
They'll rework the whole thing.
their Captain America Avengers writers to do Marcus and McFeely to probably touch it up, and if they can, I mean,
I wouldn't hate that.
No, I mean, I'd be on
I
board.
like them.
I'd be on board for it. I don't know. They need to swing. They need to take a swing.
They do. It's weird because I do feel like Phase 4 is what we were in, right? Like Phase 4 had weird little swings.
Yeah.
Like they had some swings that just none of them really hit, or they were all foul balls or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you can't have that many misses without the parent company going, okay, but let's go back to what was working before.
Yep.
So,
Let's go back to J.J. Abrams.
With Bob Iger back too.
Yeah.
Calling the shots officially again. He's going to be like, go pay the Russos $1 billion. We gotta get the gang back together.
Well, speaking of places that are trying to not spend billions of dollars, Apple has been reportedly cutting back on its TV productions, or they're looking to.
Boo.
Tyler, you know how much they spent reportedly on Severance, on each episode of Severance Season 2?
How much?
$20 million.
Why?
Good question.
I would be wanting to cut back on that too. You don't need that much money.
You don't need that much money.
They've spent $20 billion in total, I guess, for their shows. That is so much money.
That's a
It's a
lot.
lot of money. And
Well, that streamer was
as
fun while it
a
lasted.
comparison, Foundation reportedly was costing Apple $5 million per episode.
What are they doing?
So I don't know how Severance is that
John Turturro does
expensive.
not cost that much.
So
Unless maybe Severance Season 2 becomes the most insane thing we've
I was
ever
gonna
even
say
fucking
maybe it gets
dream
like
of.
real left fieldish.
it just gets real crazy. But yeah.
Maybe they should start releasing physical media.
Ooh.
Does Apple not?
No.
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 I thought they did. I thought it was just Netflix that didn't.
Some of their movies may have been released physically.
Yeah.
But not. I mean, none of their shows have been. I don't think. But anyways, any other news stories?
Bethesda's unionizing.
Yep.
Oh
It's
yeah.
officially been recognized by
Yeah.
Microsoft.
Way to go,
Cool.
Bethesda. Let's go.
They were like, we seen what Microsoft was doing, and we ain't letting it happen to us.
Oh, Microsoft. They had a rough week.
They did.
Oh yeah. They revealed their new Game Pass tiers. Got
Ranging
slapped,
between $5 and $30 or something.
got slapped with a fine from FTC.
FTC.
He was like taking them to court because
They're degrading
they're
their
degrading.
product.
Yeah, which that honestly looks like a legitimate.
Yeah. Well, and like apparently too, that's why they didn't want them to buy Activision Blizzard.
Right.
Because they wanted to avoid that, and then when they did it, they were like, "This is exactly what we were trying to prevent."
Dude, what if they make him sell Activision Blizzard?
That would be hilarious.
Oh my
That would
gosh.
be so funny. And then somebody sent out the wrong update for their
For-
security
yeah.
or whatever for CrowdStrike.
CrowdStrike.
Oh yeah, CrowdStrike
And took
So
down, like,
all the planes
world.
were grounded.
just bricked Microsoft stuff for 3
Oh,
days.
dude.
I saw a brick
Some
MRI
intern.
machine, and I was like, ooh.
Some intern at Microsoft is having the worst week. It's like, oh my god, I can't do anything.
To be
right.
clear, CrowdStrike is not
CrowdStrike.
like a part of Microsoft, right?
I think it is. I don't think like it's It's
Did you
like their
see-
security, isn't it?
Yeah, it's part of their cybersecurity package. But did you see like the Southwest thing? So Southwest flights didn't have any impact because they were running on such an old system. They were running on like 3.1, so like they hadn't updated, so the flights they weren't impacted.
Their CrowdStrike is their own company.
Yeah.
Like they're not. I just want to be clear here. Like it was not a Microsoft problem. It was a problem with Microsoft machines, but Microsoft didn't push out an update that bricked everyone. Gosh dang it! CrowdStrike sent out an update.
You have to boot up Destiny and shoot that sniper a couple times.
No,
Yeah, dude.
it's
It's like getting a song out of your head. You gotta listen to it.
Can't.
Get that lightning strike.
It's fine, I'm good.
Oh my gosh.
Let's go shoot one drag.
Baroque says I got a day off of work because of the CrowdStrike deal.
Dude, I didn't. I was kind of mad. Actually,
nice.
I do have an update for my work computer. It's like, should I
Maybe
do
don't
this?
do it.
Should I do this? I haven't because like I don't know if I should do this. Maybe I'll email IT tomorrow and be like, I have an update. Will my thing
Is it gonna blow
explode?
my computer up?
So, all right, cool. Any other news stories?
No, I don't have any. There's
All
probably
right.
more though.
Warner Brothers Games acquires Player First Games. Officially.
That was the Multiverses.
developer.
Studio.
Yep, they've officially acquired them.
Is that game still going?
Apparently, I don't know. I played it after they like released it for a match, and I was like,
What has
"Ah."
more players, Multiverses or Suicide Squad? Kill the Justice
I actually think Multiversus does.
What has more players? Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, Multiverses, or Batman, Arkham Asylum?
And then, or here's the
The first one on original Xbox 360.
here's the real three-headed monster. It's Multiversus, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, or Concord.
Oh yeah.
Sony's
the
Concord
Concord
is
beta.
bad.
Didn't it have like
Bad
1,000 concurrent players?
Yeah.
Yeah, like 2000.
Its peak was 2,000.
And it was an open beta.
Yeah.
Dude, they need to delay that.
They need to just
And
turn it
not-
into free to play or make it go
I've
out
heard
with like a
I've
monthly
heard
release.
good things about people who have played it. From people who have played it.
Yeah.
That like it plays well, but I think you're right. I don't think it's going to be a Helldivers. Even at $40, this is gonna strike gold for PlayStation.
Yeah. I watched.
As soon as they revealed it was a hero shooter, I was like, this thing is doomed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no hope for it.
I watched Skill Up talk about his beta experience, and he was like, "Yeah, this game is fun, but they needed to delay it because there are some major flaws in some of the like building blocks in."
When's it
The
set to
game.
launch?
September?
September?
August? Somewhere in
Okay.
there.
Couple months.
Pretty soon.
Yeah, it's pretty coming up here pretty quick.
Dang. Well,
Man, I bet Tyler would have played that if EA Football 26
August
wasn't out.
23rd. I probably wouldn't have played it unless it was free.
It was an open beta.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have played that. I don't like playing shooters on my PlayStation, like first person. I think it feels fun.
I feel like you're most likely to actually try something though.
That's probably true. I don't know. I probably wouldn't have tried it.
Some random shooter.
As soon as they were like,
I
hero
enjoyed
shooter-
Overwatch for like 3 months.
I played Overwatch for a while.
I
but as
played
soon as they
Overwatch for
revealed-
5 minutes and I was like, this is not for me.
Once it was revealed to be a hero shooter, I was like, yeah, man, I'm not into that. I'll
I
try
just
Marvel
feel like
Rivals.
those kind of games, I have to have people like friends to play with.
Yeah.
And as I've gotten older, I have less friends.
That's how I feel about Valorant too. Like Valorant's
Yeah.
really fun, but playing with randoms sucks because they're all so toxic.
People on the internet being toxic. Who would have thought?
You know how to stop people being toxic?
Mute them?
Be more toxic.
Oh no, I usually just mute them.
That does feel like Luke's philosophy. I love it.
Yeah, I just mute them.
I mean, it's what I see on the internet all the time. I see one person call somebody a name, and I see somebody else call someone a worse name, and I'm like, oh, that's what you're supposed to do. Am I learning the right lesson?
No.
All right. Well, let's real quick do a little Fanbox kind of thing. This is from me, I guess, today, not from a listener. But I want to know, we're over halfway through the year. what are your favorite movies that have come out? What are maybe, things that someone hasn't seen yet, but before, school gets back in session, they should make sure to go rent or find online.
Furiosa.
So I have two. I'll tier my answer. The one that everybody's seen is Dune.
Sure.
That's
Dune.
far and away, I think,
Dune Part 2.
my favorite movie so far this year. But one that's like less popular.
Sorry.
What?
Just thought of the best spinoff for Dune ever. Dune Part Tune, the musical.
Oh my gosh. Make it happen, Luke. Make it happen.
Well, speaking of musicals, the movie I was gonna say that I really enjoyed this year, and I think more people should watch is The Color Purple.
Oh.
It came out last year, but I watched it this spring
2023.
before the
You watched
Oscars.
it before the Oscars.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen it, I think you should give it a shot. It's a good one.
Nice.
Also, Maxine.
Yeah. Yep, Maxine's good. The one, Dune Part 2 is at the top of my list as well. But I think sitting at number 3, one that I think more people should check out is Lisa Frankenstein. That is just a grand old fun little movie. Had a ton
I'll
of
take
fun
your
with
word
it.
for it.
I know.
That one's just not something. Unless Dana wanted to watch it, I would never watch that. But maybe she'll want to watch it sometime.
It's a good time. It might be a great one to throw on around Halloween.
Yeah.
It's coming up.
It's got to unseat
It is.
Hubie Halloween, which is pretty hard to do.
It does not have to unseat it. You can watch more than one movie per holiday.
Season of the Witch.
Season of the Witch, Hubie Halloween. Those are the two.
And now you can add a third.
Long legs.
Fair enough. Luke, what about you?
Dune.
We're doing this.
I'm actually waiting for Furiosa to come out though, so I can just watch them both again. Because I'm a little conflicted inside. Because I really loved that too, but I haven't got a chance to watch it again yet. But that is also my pick for you need to go watch it because it made no money in the theaters, and so I think it's available to rent online now.
I think so.
Furiosa is awesome.
It
Incredible
is a
action
great movie. Great
Yeah.
movie.
Fall Guy.
Yeah.
Amazing. I'm not sure where its box office ended up at. Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Mhm.
That's out on Blu-ray now.
Fantastic movie.
A lot of fun.
Yeah. If you want to watch a really fun, corny as heck movie, The Beekeeper, man, that was so hilarious.
Yeah, I still gotta watch that.
I'm telling you, you don't know where that movie ends.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Gosh.
So yeah, there's
It's
some
going
of
to
our
end with him
favorites.
turning into a bee.
What about shows? What's your favorite show?
True Detective
Yeah.
so far.
Mine is Fallout.
I haven't finished.
Fallout's at number 2 for me, Luke, so it's still up there. Over in the chat, Baroque says the Abigail erasure is upsetting. What does that mean?
Abigail, the
Baroque.
vampire movie?
Oh, yeah. That's the one with the little girl.
Like
yeah.
the one, we need to see it, is what I'm hearing.
He's
like
saying
you
it's
and
he said it's upsetting.
I know the erasure. It means we're not talking about. Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay.
I do want to see it. I think it's out now. I see ads for it all the time, actually. So I think it's. I need to check it out. It is one that would probably, out of the three of us, I'm the only one who'd probably check that out.
I think vampires are dumb. So
I'd watch it. I just don't.
the only vampire movie
I'm not gonna go see it in theaters.
I'm
Sure.
gonna see is Nosferatu.
On Christmas Day,
Maybe.
Who
If I'm
knows?
feeling the holly jolly Christmas
What
spirit.
an awesome time to release a vampire movie.
Counter programming, man.
Absolutely.
The Chosen Christmas special, Nosferatu.
What a double feature. Oh my goodness. Cool. Okay. Real quick.
What's your favorite game of the year, Tyler? No, everybody knows what that
Favorite
is.
game of the year?
What's your favorite game of the century? I could probably answer the same game.
Of the century?
Yeah. Obviously, it's EA College Football 20.
No, of the century it'd be Red Dead 2.
It's a new century, buddy.
Oh, I
Starting-
guess okay.
Started in
yeah.
started 2020. We're ending on 2120. I'm changing the rules.
When did Red Dead 2 come out?
16, 17. We're starting on 2020. This is a different century. I had to change the rules because I forgot about that game. Okay, the decade.
Good lord.
I just assumed it was going to be college football. What number is it?
25.
25.
I was trying to not answer with that one.
No, dude, follow your heart.
I'll go with that then.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Have you played any games this year?
I guess Destiny 2. Helldivers.
Oh, I'll
Destiny.
say Alan Wake 2 since
Oh, yeah.
saying I can't say
Close
college
second.
football. Yeah.
An unclose.
I've played like 3 new games this year.
What'd you play?
Helldivers, Alan Wake 2.
Helldivers is great.
And
you didn't beat Alan
I
Wake.
haven't beat. I have played it.
That doesn't. How much have you played it?
You can beat Helldivers?
No. I'm talking about Alan Wake. He hasn't beat Alan
Oh.
Wake.
I was thinking Helldivers.
Just because I haven't beat it doesn't mean it can't be my favorite.
No, that's true. But how much of it have you actually played?
I don't know. 6 hours maybe.
Oh yeah, you got a long way to go.
No,
You know
I
what?
know I'm not that far into it. I am aware of that. I'm just stating new games that I have played this year.
It's a great one.
I feel like I'm being attacked for no legitimate reason.
Just wait till we beat you up in your driveway later.
And then force
You haven't beat Alan Wake 2!
and then force
Son
you
of a
to
bitch.
play it. Where's my money, Brett? You gotta play Control next.
Yeah.
He's never playing that game. Even though we made him because...
Or
we...
Ghost of Tsushima.
Well, I'm playing that.
You should play that one too.
I took that back
I
because he
saw
wasn't
that.
playing it.
Yeah.
I'm like 20 hours deep into New Game Plus.
I have
right
played
now.
all of these games. I have not beat any of these games. I want to know. Here's a question. Name some games that you've played but haven't beaten.
A lot of them.
How dare you? You mean you don't beat every game you play?
What is the last single player game you beat? Starfield?
Starfield probably. Does Destiny, the final shape count?
You beat that?
I know. That's what I'm saying. I beat it.
That's not single player though.
It has a campaign.
But you play it with people.
Excuse me. I played that single. I played
Okay.
that. I played that game
Okay.
single player
You
for like
did.
a year and a half. It's definitely single player. I'm with Brett on this one.
No, I was just trying to
Knives
think like
are out tonight.
what single player games have I beat recently?
Where's my video game rankings?
Claire has almost beat Ori in the Blind Forest.
Oh wow. Those games are hard too.
Yeah.
Sign her up for Hollow Knight. She's ready.
She played through it once with like Stephanie and I helping her in certain sections, and she beat it. And I forgot in the first one you can't go back and play more.
Did you guys beat
Like,
Tears
you
of the
just-
Kingdom?
You just end it.
No.
So she started a new game and she's already like 75% of the way through.
So next is Celeste, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're gonna buy a new TV. Just saying.
No, Ori, the second one was on sale, so I bought it. So when she gets back from Grandpa and Grandma's house, she can play
Start it.
Will of the Wisps.
Nice.
So.
Oh, you don't have Game Pass right now.
I haven't had Game Pass in like a year or more.
What are you using for online?
All of the
Destiny's-
all of the games I play are free to play, so they
that's right.
they have multiplayer unlocked.
That's right.
Shout out to
Nice.
Destiny for making
I
the
had to
base
buy
game free to play, so I have
bought-
Xbox Live.
right. I did buy PS Plus for a while to play Helldivers, but I've let that.
Yeah. I forgot
Elapse.
to cancel mine. And I do it the yearly.
What idiot.
Oh,
So
you got
like
a whole
came
nother
out
year.
like the other day. I was like, shoot.
Oh,
But hey, I get free games for a year, so
I guess
whatever.
that's true.
Maybe I'll get Concord for free.
There you go. Probably at some
Hey,
point.
here's a multiplayer game that maybe I don't know if you beat it or not. Back for Blood. Did you ever beat that?
No. Did I ever play that?
Yeah, we played it together.
Yeah, we played.
I cannot remember that game.
And Speed.
Oh, yes, I do remember that one.
Is this your
Was it
game?
it was zombies?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was the Left 4 Dead
yes.
reboot.
Yeah, that was fun for a night. Couple
I
nights.
didn't beat it either. I just played it that one night. It was on Game Pass. It was free.
Yeah.
I I beat Suicide Squad, kill the Justice League.
Technically multiplayer.
Technically, yeah.
No, Tyler, that doesn't count. It's a multiplayer game.
Y'all should fight.
Naked. I mean,
Whoa.
in a mud pit.
If we had to answer the underrated thing that I think people should play, Mortals of Avion, I'd put that in there. I thought that game was really fun. Even
remember-
though it's not like breath. It's not gonna blow your mind with its story, but it's fun.
I would put Assassin's Creed Mirage there. Very akin to the older Assassin's Creed games. That's one I've played and didn't beat.
Yeah, see?
How dare you!
He admits he's a loser.
No,
like
I
me.
wasn't discrediting that you've played it. I thought you'd only played Alan Wake like an hour, and then you were like, "Yeah, I didn't
No.
like it."
No.
And then you were like putting it on your list.
I
was like,
actually
what?
enjoyed that game. Like,
You
again,
walked through the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you? Had you played it as Alan? You played it as
Yeah.
Alan, yeah.
Yeah.
Played like a quarter of it.
Dude,
I understand like the base mechanic, like all of the base. I mean, assuming they don't bring something in like at the midway point that just completely flips on heads, which it could. What I'm saying is, I have a good sense of what the game is, and I enjoy it.
there are two parts in that game I would love to watch you play. One is the hotel.
Oh my gosh.
The hotel's like the hardest part of the game to me.
It's probably the scariest too. Well, the opening.
I think the nursing home is terrifying.
Oh, I'm like, gosh.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
The nursing home
I think
is
I
like
blocked it from my mind because
the nursing home is like legit scary.
Dude,
like
that old lady. who
yes, dude.
When you're like not even in the scary part yet, she's just in the window. She's like, "Oh, it's an old lady." Oh my god.
Dude, the nursing home scared me so good. So good.
The hotel's mainly gory. I
Yeah,
guess.
and it has like the combat in that game is kind of hard just in general.
Not for me.
Not to do.
Put that sucker on easy.
But to kill stuff, it's kind of challenging on the harder difficulty. And like, there's a room in the hotel where you have to kill like 30 things, and you have no weapons,
Yeah.
and you're like, ah!
Gotta run around until the game's like, "Oh, you need ammo."
I was like, please show up, Jesse Faden, and save me.
Heck, I'll take his brother, her brother. Take anybody with superpowers.
All right. Well, good conversation. Real quick before we head off for the night.
Nice hostile conversation.
I'm used to being the target at this point.
Telling you to wait for the
Having a
driveway
target
lane.
on my back. What you guys do anything this week that's worth mentioning?
I went on vacation.
Fun.
That
And-
sounds awesome.
We went down to Broken Bow, Oklahoma, and we stayed in a cabin with Lepke, friend of the show, and his wife and their kids, and we had all the kids there. We and another friend of ours named Josh and his wife Delana. And Broken Bow is kind of like a less busy version of Branson, kind of. Like it's like very family-oriented, family-friendly stuff to do. The cabin was super nice. We had a great time. I will not say where I was, but I will say that while I was waiting for a turn, there was a gentleman standing to kind of my left, and I kind of looked at him, and I was like, this is going to lead into my next thing here.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, that guy looks like Quinn Ewers, which is the starting quarterback at Texas, who happens to be the cover athlete of EA Sports College Football 25. And I was just kind of staring at him, and then I was like, I'm pretty sure that's him. So I pull up his Instagram, and I look at a picture, and I'm like, yeah, either that's him, or he's got a twin. And then I'm looking at a picture of him and his girlfriend girlfriend walks up, and I was like, yep, that's them. So he was in Broken Bow, and I was there, and I ran across him. I didn't say anything to him. I didn't want to bother him. Didn't want to draw attention to him. It looked like he was...
How un-American of you.
It looked like he was kind of, doing his own thing and didn't really, want to be recognized. And so I tried to be respectful of that. It was really cool when I did get to do my turn in the thing I was doing. I asked some of the people that were there how he was, and they were like, hey, he's a super nice dude. I had no idea who he was. And I was like, yeah, that's starting quarterback for Texas. Probably going to be a top 10 pick in the NFL draft next year. just chilling next to you guys, hanging out, shooting
Just
the breeze.
hanging out.
Just being a dude, drinking a Miller Lite. And I just
Yeah.
thought that was really cool. So shout out to Quinn Ewers for not being all Hollywood. He'll never see this. But he was being a very polite young man.
You think we can get him
Good
on
on
the
him.
show?
But that leads to the next thing I've been doing is just playing EA Sports College Football 25. Kind of talked about it earlier. It's not perfect. There's definitely some things they need to fix, especially as it pertains to Dynasty mode, and their sim engine is kind of messed up. It's got like your Alabamas and Georgias losing to D1 AA schools randomly and stuff like that. That just never happens.
Dude, do you believe in miracles or not?
I do, but those miracles don't happen every season. They aren't miracles in that game. So
They're a common occurrence.
yeah, they happen often.
Oh, the water turned to wine again.
The ranking system's kind of jacked up. Like I told you, I'm at K-State now, and I'm second in the country 5 games into the year. And I've beat some really good teams, but like the jumping, you just jump so high so fast. I was ranked 4th with North Texas, and I played one ranked opponent the whole season. So it's like there's just some weird things like that they need to iron out. There's some bugs in the recruiting system, which I found a workaround, and I've told some people workarounds for them who've asked. But all that to say, I'm having a really good time. The game has kind of impacted my enjoyment of other things quite a bit as well. I struggle to listen to like a gaming podcast I used to listen to all the time now because I just don't care about any of the games we're talking about. Like all I can think about is playing EA Sports College Football 25. So
And they didn't play it, so they're probably not talking
they
about
did
it.
play it. They did like a tailgate stream and everything for it. It was kind of
okay.
funny, it was really cool. But they talk about like all these previews they get to do in these games and stuff, and I'm like, I don't care about Avowed.
They always have to stay relevant.
Exactly, like they can't
Yeah,
linger
they
on
move
one
on
thing.
real quick.
And so like it's kind of messing up my enjoyment of like my normal routine. I've stayed up way too late, too many nights already.
Oh yeah, baby, welcome to my life.
But man, it feels good to have it back. And I just can't wait for the next time I sit down to play it. Like it's all
Here in like 20 minutes.
maybe. I was thinking about it.
Oh my gosh.
After we beat up Brett in the driveway.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. But yeah, that's what I've been doing, man. I just, again, it just feels so good to have it back. I love hearing the fight songs and the drum lines and the crowds chanting. And like I've heard the Wabash Cannonball thing like a bazillion times. Yeah, just endlessly. And I score a lot of touchdowns.
Dude, we played that at Tabor so much.
Yeah. Also, because I got to K-State in year 3 of my dynasty, I have Avery Johnson as my starting
Really?
quarterback. Yeah. We're in the Heisman race right now, baby. Yeah,
I should text my cousin because he
he's-
played on the same team.
he's really good
basketball.
in the game. I have him and Dylan Edwards, the kid from Derby. They're my 2 best players on offense.
That's crazy.
Yeah. They're both seniors, so I'm trying to recruit to replace
Buddy,
me.
please, please, please.
I gotta find some new players. I got a guy named Boogie from South Carolina coming in. He's a quarterback. I'm hoping he's good. But like that's what makes these games so fun. Is like in the NFL, it's the same guys are always the top guys, and in a game like this, like every 4 years, it's like a whole new group of players of the top end of the country. So it just makes it really fun.
So does the computer just
It just spits out, yeah.
AI generates players?
So they have it like on an algorithm where like there's only X amount of 5-star players and 4-stars, and they kind of adjust things accordingly. And like some years will be really strong for this position, and it kind of like rotates through which positions will be strong. But yeah, the names are hilarious. If you look around on I'll send you some when I see them on Twitter this week. But there's some really good ones, and there's some really bad ones. But
Johnny John.
I saw one the other day. It was just Juan Soto. Like they're just like, yeah, it's just New York Yankees right fielder Juan Soto is also in the game.
AI was like, that's a good name.
Yeah,
Write that one down.
if I can find them, I'll stumble across them and I'll show you some. But that's what I've been doing.
Sweet.
Nice.
I did 2 things. The first thing that I did was my adventures with Superman finished this past week.
The first one, I see.
Kevin Durant. The Slim Reaper. What school?
He was a recruit, so he's not going anywhere yet.
He's got to go to Texas. That's where Kevin Durant went. BJ Good. Looks like Max Crosby. Oh my, that dude's a 2-star. Does that mean he sucks?
There's another good one.
Morgan Freeman.
Dude, it just generates Howie Roseman's in there.
Oh my gosh. Anyway.
Look at this. Russ Westbrook. Peter Parker.
Peter Parker picked a pair of
here's a good one. They're so good. Like I said, the dude I just recruited's name is Boogie, so.
Boogie. Blame it on a boogie. Okay, what was I talking about? My Adventures of Superman. It finished. It was incredible. I think I think season 2 is better than season 1.
Oh, I can't wait.
I like who they introduce as a villain, and kind of the My Adventures of Superman theme is to make everything technology based. And
did they introduce the villain in the first episode?
I don't remember. I think it's like halfway through who it's like you could probably figure it out, but when they actually say the name, so I won't ruin it.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I loved how they introduced Supergirl. It's very different than anything I've seen before. That, and I think the animation
so good
is so good, and I think it's even better this time because they went full anime with their fights.
Nice.
Like just throwing people around the world. It is awesome.
Good.
It was a lot of fun. That show's fanboy worthy. If you enjoy Superman as a character, you should be watching that show.
Or if you enjoy anime.
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing that I started, I've played, I don't know, a couple hours of Dungeons of Hindenburg.
You were telling me you were going to play that.
Yeah, it's a Austrian game on Game Pass right now. And it's kind of like a indie version of Legend of Zelda. Kind of how the story starts is you're this girl who's a lawyer, and you go on vacation to the Alps because magic was discovered there, and all these dungeons opened up, and the thing to do there is go. They call it slaying. You're like dungeon crawling. You go through, you stamp your dungeon book, and there's like 30 of them, and the goal is to do all the dungeons, and you're a real good slayer. But then like in the evenings, you go around town and you get to like hang out with a person, and it boosts your stats, or they give you something, or you can even like go to the spa and it boosts your health. So there's like little things you can do with that, and like that's the gameplay loop. You wake up and you always talk to this person at the breakfast table. Then you just pick the dungeon, like the area you're gonna go. You have to go find a dungeon, or you can like go look at a waterfall, and like that's what you do that day. Then you go back to town, and you go explore the nightlife there. Then you go to bed, and then the next day starts, and that's what you do every day. And it's like a mix of a cozy game and a dungeon crawler.
Dude, that's awesome.
Like when you're actually around swinging your sword and using power ups, like it's a fun action game. And then the rest is, know what it reminds me of? Celeste.
Oh, yeah, because it is kind of that like bit graphics, isn't it?
It's more cell shaded. But it does have a particular art style. It looks like if they would make Celeste into a 3D game. It's how I would picture it. But even just like the music and the way the characters talk, like it's a text box and it's like it is a beautiful game though. I love the art style of it. I think it looks really good. And each like area you go to, you get new magical powers that help you unlock areas and fight
awesome.
monsters. I've done 5 dungeons. I've been having a lot of fun with it. And it's not super hard, which I like. It's just a nice little puzzle. It's like, okay, how do I get up there on that cliff? Oh, I gotta go through this door and ride this cart and then go back and then hit this button. It's a lot of fun. Fun little puzzles. And then boss fight. Or, like 5 enemies
Yeah.
to fight here and there. But
Nice.
I've been enjoying it.
Cool.
So if you have Game Pass, I'd encourage you to check it out. I think it's a lot of fun.
Nice. Awesome.
Sweet.
Very cool.
Plus, support indie studios.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I am deep in pre-production on our next short film, so that's pretty much all I've been dedicating extra time to is getting that. I don't know. The
Thing
ball
moving.
has been slowly rolling and it's picking up speed. We're about 2 weeks from going out and doing actual production, so very excited about that. Yeah. So it's been a lot, but it's all good. So, yeah. More to share about that soon, hopefully. But party time. All right. Well, hey, it's been an hour 40, so we should wrap this thing up. Thank you all for watching, joining us, Baroque, joining us today in the Twitch stream Monday nights live at 8 p.m. Central Time. But yeah, whether you watch us on YouTube after the fact or listen via the podcast, we appreciate you, and we hope you have a great week. Next week, we will be back talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. So,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I gotta remember to actually see it.
until next week, we'll see you.
I slammed my elbow on the mic doing that. It kind of hurt.